What is up, guys? It is your fellow classmate Jonathan Benitez here, and I'm gonna present to you the Shibboleth. If it goes to the next slide. Oh, there it is. Well, I'm your vlogger on the right, and my editor on the left. Lots of fun. So I'm gonna give you guys the basic info on this art piece. The name is a Shibboleth. The artist is Doris Salcedo. Country of origin is London, where it was exhibited. Style, it is global contemporary, but the real style is like installation or sculpture. It's not, nobody could really tell. So it's been a debate for a while. And the date would be from 2007 to 2008 because the crack was filled up later on to form a scar. How it looks. It just looks like a big crack. Well, that's what it is. Just a big crack on the floor. Symbolic wise, it means more, but for the larger mass, it's just a crack that opens up into like two more cracks, which would make it a high art and not really a low art. Also, another thing is that the people become part of the art as well. It's symbolically wise though, and I guess physical too because they're on the crack. So the rupture measures 548 feet in length, but its width and depth vary, changing from a slight opening to one several inches wide and up to 2 feet in depth. Yeah. Materials used. The crack was made by opening up the floor and then inserting a cast from a Colombian rock face. Not much else is known since the artist wouldn't say. She didn't want you to pay attention to the medium, but instead its symbolic meaning. And that rock, I'm guessing that's what the Colombian rock face would look like, but I don't really know what a cast from your Colombian rock face is. So, yeah. Function and targeted audience. The function is that Salcedo is addressing a long legacy of racism and colonialism that underlies the modern world. A shibboleth is a custom phrase or use of language that acts as a test of belonging to a particular social group or class. By definition, it is used to exclude those deemed unsuitable to join this group. So yeah, well, technically that's what its name means. Yeah, and the audience. The whole world is her audience. She wants the whole world to take a look at the racism that has happened and that is happening right now. But if you ask me, that is stretching it a little bit too much. I would say that her true audience are those who comprehend higher and are really for the larger mass, since you gotta realize the art isn't open about its meaning. So, yeah. The meaning. From the artist's words, it represents borders, the experience of immigrants, the experience of segregation, the experience of racial hatred. It is the experience of a third world person coming into the heart of Europe. For example, the space which illegal immigrants occupy is a negative space, and so this is a piece of a negative space. Other than that, she hasn't given much explanation for her art. This leaves the viewer to make their own theories, but they all correlate around the same idea, that segregation of the lower classes. Like, yeah, I guess that's somewhat true. She doesn't give that much of a hint to it, so, and that's what the name means, so yeah. Alright, her other works. The Plegaria Muda is another of her artworks which emphasizes the relationship between gang violence and their victims. They're both similar in the fact that they both commemorate the victims, but different in the ways that this commemorates the abuser too, which would be gang violence, gangs. Another one of her artworks is the Istanbul. This commemorates the victims of the war. They're similar in the fact that they both commemorate the victim, but different since that Istanbul commemorates, I mean, it was made to honor and like not show much of a political message. And yeah, I think I'm done.